Boundaries. Her name is Christy or Crystal or Kelly, I'm not sure which. So I just call her sweetheart and babe, and she never seems to mind. She's too busy talking about her ex-boyfriend anyway, a guy who's still her boss at work. In bed, he wanted me to call him Master, as in, Master, you want me to wear my nurse uniform tonight? I was so sick of it. She tells me she always set strict boundaries with the guy. He wanted me to lick whipped cream off of his body one time, but I was on a diet, so I made him put non-fat yogurt instead. Boundaries, she says, they're indispensable. He also tried to stick it up my rear end one time, like it was an accident, but I wouldn't have it, and didn't budge until I admitted it hadn't been a coincidence. I didn't know you'd notice, was his only defense. It's all about boundaries, she says. I like her assertive, driven style. She's intense, talkative, a French Canadian, perfect for an insecure guy like me. But my brain tells me to stay away from her. She's a rebound, it says, obsessed with her ex, no good for dating. But I'm a guy too, always ignoring warnings, especially if they come from the brain. She says her ex-boyfriend cheated on her one time with a coworker who gave him a blowjob in the copy room, but she immediately recognized his voice. Unmistakable, she said, a dead giveaway. Did you quit the job, I say? No, there's nothing else for me out there. Just part-time nonsense. Sneeze and you're fired kind of gigs. At-will contracts not worth the paper they're written on. So she's stuck in job hell like the rest of us, waiting for the next recession to wipe us out. At least he can't fire me, she says. I'd sue him for sexual harassment, the only form of job security we have left. She thought of seeing a shrink, but all they do is pill you up, she says. And I need answers, not ways to postpone the inevitable. I agree, and I nod to everything, and she looks at me with curiosity, perhaps even with interest, probably wondering, who's this guy who keeps nodding his head at everything I say? I sense a void in you, she says, like an emptiness or something. I didn't eat breakfast, I say. No, I mean, it's like you've lost something, maybe back in Mexico. Don't you miss Mexico? Absolutely not. Don't you miss your family? Did Hamlet miss his relatives? What about friends? I don't have any, I just attend support groups. She looks at me again. Maybe she gets me. She too is a friendless, Facebook dependent, an internet American seeking meaning in a cyber void of under-socialized strangers. She goes to my boombox, puts a Celine Dion CD inside, very French Canadian, I suppose, and presses play, and the horror begins. It's Celine's voice, it's awful, it's killing me, but she loves it. You know Celine sang for Pope John Paul II when he visited Montreal? So the Holy Father had to endure this too? That poor man. No wonder they want to canonize him. She keeps on chatting, but now I'm only half listening. I'm mostly thinking of the Pope, a real-life saint, giving hope to the rest of us. She only cries once. I miss him, she says, I really do. I know. He was my master, she says. And I try hugging her, but she pushes me away. Boundaries, she says. Remember? Of course. And she says she's okay, and we keep chatting. I still can't remember her name, Christy or Crystal or Kelly. But that's all right. I just call her sweetheart and babe. And it's no biggie, no sweat at all. And she never once seems to mind.